seems to be the more hungry out of the four of us.
James is the ultimate perfectionist.
He's never satisfied. It could always be that little bit better.
His Olympic experiences have been so unfortunate.
I just lay in a room for 4 days listening to the American national anthem by the swimming pool and couldn't race.
James was not an easy guy, and he's been to the last Olympics. Okay, he was ill. He was very miserable sometimes.
I mean, I came away and was in a lot of debt, and I thought, well, I know I'm good enough to be at the top.
His chance in Sydney is to put right all those wrongs.
James is I think, quite shy in some respects.
Yeah, a little bit naive, and
you'll notice his hair being different colours on various different days.
Now, I'm in a situation where, you go around a supermarket, you don't look at the price of food. That's the most important thing. You don't think about, oh, I can't have that, I'll have to value food. You can't get the good food that's so important.
James, I'd say, was the driven perfectionist.
he likes training, so I think he puts a lot to the crew, especially for the older ones, pushing them through the sessions.
He's proved he's got the physical and mental ability, and he had it all along.
He was the sort of the driving influence through the dark winters in some respects.
And now, anything but first is a disaster.
I think he really developed in his whole personality, and I think he is a man now. We say always Tim is Tim. He is always friendly.
He's not the 6'5", big shoulders, tall, long, gangly.
He's nice.
Tim is more sort of laid back, more technically minded.
Everybody goes on well with him.
He's rowed in the coxless fours longer than any of us can remember. I mean, he's got more experience in a coxless four than any of us.
The key thing was to break up Steve and Matthew. I think it was quite a good move by Jürgen to put Tim in between them.
Matthew and Steve are phenomenally powerful, but I sit there in the middle and I'm thinking about rowing the correct length, moving with the boat itself.
He adds, a quarter to that four, and some.
Basically, I mean, the way things were for about 3 months, in one period of time, I was lying on my back, I couldn't stand up, I couldn't sit down. Just nothing was comfortable. It was less than human, really.
And so he was still always a crew member, no question, and this was not always easy to handle.
Top-level sporting activity seems a million miles away.
What he lacks on the rowing machine or in the gym, he makes up for in the water by being the best oarsman, technical oarsman that I've rowed with, undoubtedly.
Of course, he's maybe a little bit late and is still smiling, coming through the door. Sorry, guys.
I'm probably the laid-back one, the secretly driven one, the one that, kind of quietly gets on with it without necessarily giving away how much it means.
In one of the papers, Redgrave Rose with teenager.
Matthew can be relaxed, he can be laid back.
He's enormously strong. I have never seen an athlete with so a strong engine like Matthew has.
He'll ask who we've got in the heat in Sydney, and he'll go, 5 Muppets. That's the way he looks at it. He considers himself better than everyone.
Doesn't really take himself too seriously.
Yeah, in one way.
For him to do the things we do, he seems to be working at 50% effort.
But still, even a strong engine has to be trained well.
He can be the thinker.
Okay, you have to push him. Okay, Matthew, you can still do a little bit more.
He's got a really good natural rhythm, probably the best natural one I've rowed behind.
His set of lungs would be great.
The ideal that you drive the blade through the water, come through to the finish with a square finish and do that, that's a very good one, but come out vertically is 4.
You never exactly come out vertically.
No, but that's the ideal. It's an exercise, not an ideal. Can we leave this discussion for another Olympiad?
It's quite worrying. Yeah.
What I'm saying is that the send you give it in square blades.
I'm certainly looking forward to sitting behind him on the 23rd.
In square blades is an exercise, not an ideal.
The rest of us would love to have his sort of physical attributes to be able to pull that hard.
Matthew has to row his best technically to make use of his large lungs.